in Wheatfield. And we set up a date to do an interview with him on July the 3rd, and I also plugged Tom's Veterans Memorial efforts. And so we were both down there, and the broadcast was made public on last Thursday. If anyone is interested in listening to it, all you have to do is go to webrradio.com, go to podcast, Northtown News, and it's the July 6th event, the first one on the list there. And he volunteered his services. If there's anything that in the town that we want to broadcast, they do public service announcements. It was a very interesting visit. Any questions?
Any comments or questions?
Well, thank you.
Anything else? Approved? Yeah, excuse me. The minutes, June 5th, 2023. Got a motion for it?
I think there's an amendment.
No, they have the other one.
Okay, they have a proper one?
Yes.
And we have a motion and a second. Second. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of bill payment of June 19th, 2023, voucher number 202-30905 to 202-30989 with a total amount of $613,198.31. I have a motion for this.
So,
Motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
And that's where, man, you want to read that motion for the June 19th.
okay. Sorry to interrupt. We're going to, have some housekeeping, doing, a do-over on a motion that we,
We're going to finish the motion.
The motion here, we got down to 19th.
Yeah, we haven't done the motion on the
We're still on the 19th motion, Pat.
oh, I thought, okay.
We made the motion.
This is just for the bill pay.
Yeah, but, Kathy wanted me to do it after the bill period. Okay.
We didn't
All right,
vote
sorry,
on it.
I'll do it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills are paid on June 19th.
Okay, and we also, would like to do another motion retroactive to the 19th, and I'll read the language of it. Is to hire for the town of Wheatfield to hire Connor Adendike and Brandon Muldoon summer seasonal help, summer camp staff to start June 20th, 2023 at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department. Seasonal help summer camp staff, pending approval of human resources and a Niagara County criminal background check, and this motion will be retroactive to June 19th, 2023. So moved.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So, it's new.
Second.
Yes, thank you.
All right, approval of bill payment of July 10th, 2023, voucher number 202-30990 to 202-31138, with a total amount of $631,923.03. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of bills, July 10th, bills are paid. Department heads, Paul Sigma.
Yeah, I got a few things tonight. Our first section of paving is about 90% complete. We paved all Spice Creek and then the entranceway to Ashwood and Lakewood. It's almost 3 miles. It took us a while to do it because there's 2 cul-de-sacs and 4 horseshoes in there, so it wasn't a quick one to do. And before we could do it, there's 62 DIs, catch basins in that subdivision. That subdivision's what, 20, 25 years old at the most? Out of 62 catch basins, we had to repair 57 of them. That goes to show you the kind of lousy job they do when they're building somebody's subdivision. Hopefully now they're getting inspected a lot better. I know I check them out, and I know Tim checks them out. But I mean, to have to go back there in 20, 25 years and do all that work, it was four weeks of work.
Was that because the country curbs and we switched to regular
regular curbs?
No, it's because they don't mortar around the pipes, they use brick, they just did a crappy job. And I mean, it's not the first place we've had it, but it was frustrating knowing we had to fix so many of them DIs. I mean, like Tim knows, that's one of the first things I check during all our inspections. I make them pull every cover off if I have to. But, so anyways, so we got that all paved, it was milled and paved. Hoover and Raymond was milled, we did a fiber mat, because for some reason, that road's been full depth recycled twice since I've been here, 34 years, which shouldn't have to be. But I don't know if it's because of the springs under the road or whatever, we constantly get cracking in there. I know there's some trucks and stuff that go down there, but it just doesn't explain it. So fiber mat is tar with a mesh in it, when they lay it down, and then they put stone over like the old chip seal, gives the road a little bit of flex. Within the next few weeks, we'll be coming over with Nova chip, was almost like a blacktop, but it's super hard. We're hoping the two of them will match up good. I did some research on it, we're hoping that'll take care of the problem on Hoover Road, hopefully for a few years. We still got some more paving to do, I'm waiting for all the bills to catch up. Make sure I don't wanna go over budget. Chipping, while we were out paving, we couldn't send the chippers out. Well, you would've thought I killed somebody's baby in their front yard. It's ridiculous. 3 weeks it wasn't out, and people act like it's the end of the world. They look at our website, they can tell, it says right on the website, during the summer when we're paving, the chippers won't be out, or they'll be out intermittently. And I mean, I got swore at for their grass dying, and my comment was, don't put it out. We chipped every day during April and May that it wasn't raining out. And they still went down Town Line Road, they weren't even to the end of the road, and 2 more piles are put out. Well, guess what, that's gonna sit there, because I got more work to do. I mean, chipping is a convenience that we give the town residents. Fixing roads is an obligation. And I don't know what we can do to fix this, but it's just gotten totally out of hand. I mean, I got people that cut 2 yards, 200 feet of brush, 8 feet high. Mowed down probably 6 trees, and I think the guy got paid to cut most of them down, but I couldn't prove it. Too much for us to chip, because if we'd have been there, we'd have been there forever. Picked them up in the loader bucket and the clam bucket. You know what? They called complaining they wanted me to fix their yard. And they lost their grass. I won't tell you what I told them.
I can imagine, Paul, after the meeting this morning.
Well, it gets aggravating. Then I gotta send 2 chippers out, 8 guys, to try to catch up on the brush. Now to the good news. I got a grant for $1,700 from the New York State Town Highway Superintendent. It was for safety gear. I got cones, nice signs, vests. I try for it every year, I never get it. This year I got lucky and we got $1,700 in safety equipment. Not a lot, but at least something. On a little brighter note, I want to thank Tim and his guys at Wendell. I apply for Bridge New York every year. Plaza Road Bridge, how many guys have been telling you about it? Been yellow flagged probably the last 5, 6.
Which bridge was that one?
Plaza Drive. This year, we got a $2.3 million grant to redo that bridge. And that was without a grant writer, that was me and them guys at Wendell. I really want to thank them guys, they helped me out a lot. I don't know all the technical stuff that you gotta give them, you know, but we've been working at it forever. So just to kind of toot my own horn, the last 9 years, we've got...
we're gonna put out the bid now, with that money?
Yeah, it'll have to be put out to bid. Originally, this bridge was, when I first started, it was $1.2 million. Over the course of 7 years, it's up to $2.3 million. We do have a 5% pay on it, so we'd have to come up with $115,000. I'm guessing we'll come up with that, because I don't think you want to lose $2.3 million. But in the last 9 years, without a grant writer, I've gotten almost $3 million in grants for equipment, bridge work, road work. That's pretty good, because my whole budget's $3 million. So I hope you guys are gonna, well, when the official stuff comes out, you guys will have to accept the grant, I'm sure. So we will have to pay, our matching portion will be about $115,000 or $120,000.
It's gonna cost us more than that.
How do you figure that?
Engineering, you can't just put it on.
The $2.3 million involves engineering and all that.
It's not just $115,000.
The $2.3 million involves the engineering and everything, it's all budgeted into it.
It's not just a specification.
No, this just came out from Governor Hochul. I have to wait, they'll send me an official document, but I wanted to let you know about it, because I know we waited a long time, I've been trying forever to get the money for it. So, yeah, when I get the official paperwork, I'll make sure I submit it to everybody. I'm sure that there's gonna be some, in other grants that I've gotten, we've had to submit, agenda items or whatever, resolutions from the board, I'm sure that'll be involved in this too.
Is Paul gonna be the employee of the month?
No, I don't wanna meet.
Hey, Paul, did we make any headway on those no Jake Brake signs by Norman Walk's old house there on that part?
I called the county,
I know he did that.
and
I see him everywhere else, I just don't see him there.
I called the county and asked if they could put some up.
Okay.
The wheels move slow. I actually will see him this week and I'll ask him again.
Paul, do you happen to notice by any chance on the county roads, a lot of that ash trees hanging right over?
Yeah.
They have no program for the ash trees?
They got their own forestry division. I don't know if you got a call on them or what, but,
There's some that are just hanging right over the road.
I mean, they gotta cover 270 miles of road, so, and they're like everybody else is, they're strapped for help, nobody's there, nobody shows up. Same scenario.
Paul, have you heard anything from the DOT about the plan for microbus? I believe that's gonna be shut down for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be shut down starting in, June. Yeah,
but
second week of June to the second week of July. That's what I was told,
Yeah, I
but
know it was delayed, but.
they had a lot of, I haven't heard anything lately.
Okay.
I know they had problems with I think they're waiting for the telephone company to get all their lines moved.
Well, you know what, about 2 months ago, Verizon, they hadn't even ordered the fiber to move the poles over. And that's why that's part of the reason it's still sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I kind of figured that it wasn't gonna be the date that they said it was.
Well, that may run into contamination on the core, which I'll be months for several weeks.
Yep.
They didn't realize there was no gas station there in the buried tanks.
All they would've had to do was ask somebody.
It'd be good if they get it done before school starts, because those school buses are gonna be log jammed.
That's what I'm hoping, it gets done before school starts, because it's gonna cause a lot of problems if it doesn't.
They realized too that Ford Road's gonna be closed for one.
Yep. Actually, Church Road's gonna be closed for a day or two too. They're gonna have to come out Maple on the church tolls.
That's it, Paul, anybody have anything, Paul, anything else? Mark, water sewer.
Good evening. I have a couple of things to mention tonight from the Water and Sewer Department. We recently had a hydrant that was hit by a vehicle on Lockport Town Line Road. My guys went out there within the next couple hours of the damage and repaired the hydrant, everything's back in service. So I want to say excellent job by them. Also, we started operating the water valves, hydrant valves, repairing them as needed, started at Town Line Road. We're working our way over towards Williams. We're about to War Road right now with developments. And as we find them broken, we repair them, make sure they're operable. One of the other things I'd like to mention too is with all these new builds, I've been trying to get water meters since December of last year. We currently are down to like 4 or 5 in our department. Tentative date is sometime in August. And when I ordered in December, I ordered 12 of them. That's for the 3/4 inch. And I have 3 or 4 that are used that I can install in new houses. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Mark, excuse me for interrupting. One of the things we discussed this morning, at the department head meeting, because we have new homes coming in, is that if he has to put a jumper in instead of a meter, then I don't know, Matt, we talked about this, that there would be a resolution from the town board that every one of the new homes pay at least a minimum, until such time as the meter were available. Do we need a motion on that? Wait and see.
I mean, we can wait and see.
How much time do we have before we're gonna need to have an answer on that?
Well, like I said, the meters are supposedly coming in August sometime. I don't know when a new build's gonna be done or started. But the other thing too, with the minimum charge, they're gonna be out brand new lawns and,
Yeah, maybe what's our choice?
I don't know.
We wanna get something, and I understand they're gonna be watering lawns, hopefully, the other suggestion are trying to get some more years. You know, instead of having a dozen, maybe have some on hand.
Yeah, it was never this problem before, you know, the
Take my meter.
What's that?
You take my meter.
Everybody operates that, you know?
How far, I mean, do you think there's gonna be houses needing, water service before our next board meeting?
You know, I don't know, you're down to 4.
I'm down to 4, they're used, yes.
I don't know, I just to cover ourselves, hopefully they'll come in. Maybe just do a quick, not a quick resolution, but a resolution that any home that, has to have a junker and some water meters or delivered, pay a minimum water bill. Because we can't count the water, but at least we get something.
I mean, with the caveat, if the lawn is being watered, a little bit more.
But how do you know, so these have water usage, that's what you build this on. Who's gonna monitor how much they're watering?
I'll just, set something a little bit more, I don't know.
What was the model homes like? Is there a meter?
There is meter in there, but I don't know what the bill is.
So that they are being metered?
No, I just didn't know.
Yeah, no, they're being metered.
How much they were using.
There's no other homes on the water, you're right.
Probably by the time they run out, though, it'll be fall and there'll be less water.
In theory, I guess.
Can you give 1 inch and just jump it up, or?
1 inch, there's a shortage on every side. Yeah. I mean, I talked to Town of Niagara, you know, they did offer, if they had meters in stock for me to use them and then replenish them when we got ours in, so.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we just let it go tonight? And if you see that it's gonna be a problem, not an agri can't help or something else, that necessary, an emergency meeting, then do something. I mean, we just can't give them more for the jumper or charge them for something. In fact, Wheatfield is one of the top water users in Niagara County. I think it's us and Rockland. Two top water users. So, just keep me posted.
Yeah, we'll do.
Anything else?
That's all I got for tonight.
You gonna have something for us?
Thank you.
Mike Rinaldi is on vacation, Mike Clark is on vacation, and Kelly has a personal time. And the council has nothing, and Tim Zuber, Wendell. Keep it short, right, Tim? Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, you have any for us tonight?
Do you want me to? I just gotta, I can do a quick report.
Yeah, please, I'm sorry, Chris.
That's okay, I wasn't here. So, we're a little bit, well, first thing, our new guy's fully certified now. So he's out there, doing inspections as well with us. We're taking this opportunity to try and close up all the permits that have been open since COVID. Been going through the system, door knocking, phone calls, ladders out there. We're actually having a very good success rate doing that too. Majority of our pools, trying to make sure they're safe. All the requirements are in, so people, nothing happens. We're down to 211 open permits from 580. So that's pretty good.
Very good.
That's all I got. Just
Chris,
got
let me ask you a question, just, I mean, off the top of my head here. How many homes do we have under construction right now?
18, 20.
We have 4 meters. So something.
Or used ones, yes.
And we're probably gonna run into a problem with, Hunter's Lane is, there's 4 in Hunter's Lane that are gonna be getting ready to, get to that stage of plumbing.
Before our next meeting?
Possibly, yeah.
No, I think.
Just do a minimum charge.
Yeah.
Because
I met up with Brian Whiters and Mark here.
All right, great. You wanna make that motion?
Services, they got a tool.
I can make a motion that we charge, that we, in lack of a meter, that we charge the house's minimum charge per month or per quarter.
So such time that a meter is been provided.
Yeah, they can just figure it out retroactive when we do get it.
And if they refuse to let you in to put a meter, then we'll shut the water off. Is that what we do?
Charge them the maximum. Charge them the maximum.
Well, once you start charging the minimum, they're,
I can't give you that. Charging the minimum is fair.
Yeah.
charge is the maximum that we have to. So there's no way of reading how much, and again, we buy water, and then we sell it. So it's all based on usage. So if we charge them the minimum, give them a break until the meters are available. Is that okay?
But in doing that, they're probably gonna say, oh, we're getting free water, let's just use the heck out of it.
Well, I don't have a choice. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do.
So Randy made the motion, Cindy made the second. Got a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, thanks.
Now, do you want me to reach out to the builders and talk to them too, to let them know this is what we're gonna do? So that they can tell the clients that are moving the house?
Well, I don't think it's necessary, Chris. I think when you come down to the CFO, if there's not a meter available, you've got to make them aware they're gonna be charged on a minimum basis.
Okay.
And stay in touch with Mark.
All right.
Now, did you say you wanted that as a thing on CFO as well?
You want it as a condition?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to put it down as a condition. I just don't want to make it a temporary CFO because the nice one is a kid, so, okay? All right, thank you. All right, any motion?
Good.
Okay. We have Tom, you have something for us now?
Yes. As you all have noticed, in front of you is a challenge point. That is my groups, the veterans groups, thank you for supporting us in the effort for July 1st. That's something we give out to everybody who has been in that support function. So, it's a great point. I hope everybody likes it. And I think you got one last year, but that's our thinking. A couple of things for the July 1st event. We were able to get some new items, going for that event. Congressman Higgins was here. He spent about 45 minutes at the event, which was super. The Veterans Outreach from Lockport, Colleen Drake, was here with a staff members of hers answering questions from veterans who would come up to her table and ask. And she had a lot of handouts. The tent was new this year. We had good coverage from the Tribune, the July 7th Tribune. If you've got it at your house, we are on the second page. It's almost a full-page article, and that was given to us or provided by Karen Keith. She seems to be a newer reporter there, but she is following the town of Wheatfield, which we are very grateful for, because we have not had the coverage that we would like to have. We also had Jamie's Ice Cream. That was good. I talked to Rachel, and Rachel said she did pretty good. Maybe not fantastic, but she said she was satisfied with the results. And she had another opportunity to sell ice cream at 7 o'clock that same evening, so she did double duty that day, which was kind of cool. I guess she had a good profit day. We also had a group of 4 gals, and they came from something called Pinups for a Cause. You'll see them in the paper. The picture's not real good, but they dress in that wartime World War II vintage clothing, and they just mingle around with the crowd and just make for some happy feelings and take pictures with people and things like that. I got my picture with 4 girls. Sorry. Anyway, somebody's got to do the dirty work. On a disappointing note, and I want everybody to know about it, Stakesters did not show up. They were our food truck, along with the ice cream, and they did not show up. I was very disappointed with that, and I feel it's kind of a smear on the veterans group, because we told people there would be food there, and how do we go back next year and say, well, we did promise food, I mean, it didn't happen. Didn't happen means it didn't happen, that's all there is to it. And that's what people remember. They don't remember the good, they remember the bad. In any event, we also had the tent, which I'm sure everybody saw at one point or another. We had a nice giveaway for children this year. In the service, you get dog tags. We were able to purchase a single dog tag with an American flag on it and something written on the back. It had all different sayings on the back. Like proud to be American, that kind of thing. And we ordered 72 of those, and we gave out all 72, and probably could have used a few more. But it was a good giveaway. Take it out, put it on the child's neck. Parents giving you the okay to do that, of course. Kids like that, you know, they kept picking it up and looking at it and looking at it. It's a great thing. All in all, again, a few disappointments, but a good day all over, pretty much. Any questions?
Nice job.
Okay.
Thank you. I had a good time when the sheriff was here. And, it was disappointing about the food truck, but you did your best. You did what you could do, and that's all you can do. You don't understand the mistakes of just going out of business, so.
Really? No. If I said I felt bad, I'd be lying.
But other than that, Tom, it was okay, motions, Mr. Brooks. Oh, I'm not trying to forget.
You just didn't want me to do this, that's all.
We only have two items on our agenda, and the first one's our planning board report, and it's a bit extensive because of the extra meetings, or because of not having a second board meeting in June, so I'll try to go quick. The first meeting that this covers is May 17th. Started with a sketch plan for the gun range, but that was actually removed from the agenda because it was determined planning board action wasn't required for it. Second item was the site plan for the Shawnee Golf Course. The applicant reconstructed their on-site garage that was destroyed by fire. It was historically used to store and charge golf carts. They have now switched to gas carts that don't need the indoor space for storage and charging. So they propose to convert half of their garage space into an additional bar area for golfers. The space would have garage-type doors that could be open in nice weather and would include additional bathroom facilities. Planning board determined the project was a type 2 action under seeker and that no further environmental review was required. Planning board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. Next item was a site plan for what's called DWMF. It's at the Clubhouse Bros Restaurant. The applicant proposed to construct a 50 by 60 metal pole barn with a potential 20-foot overhang addition in the rear at 3386 Niagara Falls Boulevard. The building would provide a small office and storage for the existing food truck business at the site. And we keep that in mind for next year. The site is zoned commercial and falls within the Niagara Falls Boulevard Overlay District. Planning board discussed several items, including parking, signage, and utilities. No action was taken. Next item was a site plan / minor subdivision for Town Line Solar. This solar project has been relatively silent since December of 2021 when it was last in front of the planning board, but has been recently reinitiated. Project proposes to subdivide the parcel into 3 lots, which would be a minor subdivision, with the solar project being accessed from Shawnee Road. The project will no longer include battery storage. The planning board continued discussion of the project, including the town processes for site plan and minor subdivision approval, repeating the coordinator of under seeker, proximity to the entrance to neighbors on Shawnee, and wetlands and town's conservation area requirements. No action was taken. So that's the May 17th meeting. The next meeting is June 7th. First item was a sketch plan for Rustic Buffalo. The applicant seeks approval from the planning board for the construction of an outdoor bar area, deck, and craft sales chalets. Much of the improvements were done without previous planning board approval. The planning board discussed several items of concern, including the extent of the liquor license, parking, site circulation, noise concerns, and the submittal of proper plans to the town building department. No action was taken. Next item is a sketch plan for automotive center. The applicant proposes to construct a new 7,800 square foot building at 6525 Walmart Road. The business would be for used car sales and service. Planning board discussed items such as proximity to the airport runway, the airport protection area, parking, and utilities. The business would require a special use permit. No action was taken on that. The next meeting was June 21st. First item on that agenda was a site plan for CBE Solar. CBE North America returned to the planning board to discuss revisions made to their previously approved site plans. The applicant planning board reviewed a revised landscape plan and glare study. Panels are now slightly larger but remain an overall height of less than 8 feet. Fenced area of the solar field was reduced in size due to the increased efficiency of the newer panels. The planning board approved the modified site plans and reconfirmed the validity of the special use permit. Next was a sketch plan for a beauty salon addition. The applicant proposes to construct a 589 square foot addition to the existing beauty salon building at 7475 Shawnee Road. The site is challenging due to its size, configuration, and existing encumbrances. Planning board discussed items for the applicant to verify, including of course parking, the site plan review checklist requirements, and potential setback variances needed. No action was taken. Next item is a site plan for commercial HVAC sales. The applicant proposes to convert the existing building at 2242 Niagara Falls Boulevard. This is Country Health Transportation Center of Western New York. This is right on the corner of Balmore and the Boulevard and Cayuga Drive. It's that kind of triangular place that has used car sales at it right now. So they want to convert that to, from used car sales to a commercial HVAC business. No site improvements are proposed, but the change of occupancy required planning board approval. The planning board verified the required parking and discussed that storage must be inside the building and that any changes to signage must be made to the building department. Planning board determined that the action was a type 2 under seeker and no further environmental review was required, and the planning board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. The next item was a sketch plan for what they're calling Eric Road subdivision. The applicant, Burke Homes, presented a sketch of a proposed 306 lot subdivision north of Parkside subdivision and between Eric Road and Walmart Road. Chambers were full of residents who had heard about the proposed project. The property is zoned R2, which allows single-family residential homes for R1 zoning requirements. The current sketch plan shows 3 entrances from Eric Road and 2 connections to the existing Parkside subdivision. The plan also showed 2 retention ponds for stormwater management. The planning board held a high-level discussion on items such as utilities, traffic, school capacity, and the existing environmental features of the property. The planning board advised the applicant to review wetlands, the street that runs through the site, for town's conservation area requirements. The planning board also acknowledged that this would be classified as a major subdivision and recommended the applicant review sketch plan requirements of the town subdivision code, especially the preparation of environmental base map of existing conditions of the area before returning to the planning board for further review. No action was required or taken. Last item on that agenda is a sketch plan for a micro cell system. The applicant proposes to replace an existing utility pole in front of 7507 Old Shawnee Road, and co-locate a microcell wireless communication facility, which is named Tewksbury, on the utility pole. This falls under town code section for small cell telecommunication facilities. Those facilities that are located in the town right away must ultimately be approved by the town board, but the building department requested the planning board for initial review and recommendation. The new pole, which would be 29 feet above grade, will be 1 foot taller than the existing pole, and would have equipment mounted both on the top of the pole and on the side. The planning board provided referral to the Niagara County Planning Board and suggested the applicant clear up confusing information on the application about pole height and consider some type of camouflage for the lower pole mounted equipment cabinet. No action was required or taken. There were actually so many applicants for that meeting that the planning board held another meeting on the following week just to take the remainder items as opposed to staying here until 1 o'clock in the morning. So another meeting was held on June 28th. First item was again that DWMF storage building at the Clubhouse Brothers Restaurant. Planning board ultimately issued a negative declaration under seeker and approved the site plan with noted conditions and contingent upon engineering review. Next item was, again, the Town Line Solar Project. Again, the planning board just continued discussions of many items, including the proximity of the driveway to neighbors on Shawnee Road, some new equipment that they showed on their site plan, and the wetland concern. No action was taken on that. The next item was site plan for custom shops. These are 10,000 square foot custom shops proposed at 6845 Shawnee Road. You've heard us talk about these a couple different times before. The buildings are proposed in the C1 zone area, which is the front part of the lot, with the access from Shawnee Road. Plans were revised to significantly reduce the amount of fill required for the project, and the dry detention pond will rely on a pump discharge system to the roadside ditch. Discussion continued on several items, including fire advisory board comments and the stormwater pump. Planning board issued a negative declaration under seeker and approved the site plan with noted conditions and contingent upon engineering review and approval. Next was a sketch plan for Pelicanos Marketplace. The applicant is proposing to acquire two parcels, 3342 and 3354 Niagara Falls Boulevard, which are adjacent to their existing business at 3338 Niagara Falls Boulevard, and construct a new 27,500 square foot marketplace. The project would also expand the existing marketplace building before being repurposed for a different use. Sketch plan including areas for parking, potential stormwater management, and cross-access with the existing marketplace site. Parcels are zoned C1 and are in the Niagara Falls Boulevard overlay. Planning board discussed items including parking, stormwater, wetlands, and the proposed entrance to the site from the Evergreen Drive dead end. No action was required or taken. Last item, the sketch plan for a new temple building. The applicant proposes to construct a new 4,000 square foot worship space in front of the existing building at 2609 Niagara Falls Boulevard. That's the old driving range site. The existing building would be repurposed as living space for the monks. The site is zoned commercial and is, of course, in the Niagara Falls Boulevard overlay district. Planning board discussed items including parking, renderings, improvements to the site, and questions on potential impacts to the Sawyer Creek floodway and floodplain. No action was required or taken. So that was our last couple of months.
Can I ask you on that last one, on the new temple building?
Yes.
Is that the old Gulfville location?
Yes.
What about the, that's any great other?
So this was a sketch plan, and one of the things that we did mention to them is, look, half your parking lot is in the floodway, and the whole rest of your site is in the floodplain. How are you gonna handle that? And their engineer said, we haven't started our engineering yet, but we'll comply with the requirements, so.
But I mean,
All we can do is point it out to their attention.
it's also being reevaluated again now, Sawyer Creek.
So, anything, I mean, we can warn them about that or give them a heads up about that, but anything that would be happening right now would be based off of current mapping. So if that's gonna raise the base flood elevation, that would be important for them to be aware of.
I mentioned the well, the flood we had, what, in July or 2 years ago? Last year. You saw the flooding in Hudson Valley then?
I heard one place down there got over 8 inches of rain in 6 hours. Like, you can't design anything.
So the 100-year, 500-year?
Oh, that was well in excess of 1,000
years.
Yeah.
Did you guys see it?
No, I didn't see it. I think that's right.
Climate change or whatever, but literally wiped out bridges, roads, buildings, cars were floating down the street. It was in an area that was never flooded.
Mhm. And, you know, that's, thankfully, the localized cluster is supposed to be in like a county-wide thing where it's wiping everything out, but it just shows you what those high-intensity focused storms can be.
The only thing I would ask is when they do come back to remind them that in fact that area is being reviewed.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything more about the status of that. I did speak with one gentleman a few months ago, answered some questions for him, but I don't really know.
Anybody have any questions or comments or something?
Tim, going to the very front of your update, the gun range, I know that's was off the agenda. Do you know what the plan is for that on Niagara Falls Boulevard?
As I understood it, it was to reopen it as a gun range. So it's the same use, there really wasn't any change to the site plan, so it really didn't need to come to the planning board.
They already got a new name on it.
Yeah, the name on.
Those changes of use come to the planning board because if it goes to something that's a lot more parking intensive, the planning board can review that and make sure that they're not gonna overwhelm their site by what they're changing their business to, so. It's always been a gun range there, so. we need to do it. The only other item we have on our agenda is, some motions for the town to consider adopting adult use cannabis law. So we just have a secret motion and a adoption motion of the town, so we just do that.
That's next.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Matt, you're on.
We have motions, first one that Tim mentioned from Wendell is the cannabis law seeker. lengthy, so I will, read it as presented unless anyone wishes that I read it.
Make a motion to approve the, cannabis law as written and modified. Secret, we're doing secret, okay, I'll make a motion on the signature. Have a second, please?
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Next motion, again, as Tim mentioned, as we alluded to, Don, it is from under the cannabis law adoption, and that is a little lengthy, so that's the motion.
Have a motion, please? Hello?
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion is from the Recreation Department. Resolve to hire Nolan Barker, Samantha Curran, Claire Burzak, and Elizabeth P. October as summer season help summer camp staff effective July 11th, 2023, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department seasonal help summer camp staff and pending approval of human resources and Niagara County criminal background check.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the Recreation Department, resolve to hire Noah Brooks as a summer seasonal help partner effective July 11th, 2023, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department seasonal help partner pending approval of human resources and the Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Budget Department, resolve to authorize and approve the request of Ed Monroe, Budget Director, to hire Paul Valera as a part-time Budget Director to be paid hourly at a rate of $27.31, effective as of August 20th, 2023, on a probationary basis. The hourly rate is justified due to the professional nature of the job, and also that he is a CPA. No Niagara criminal background check is required as the employee is currently employed with the company.
So moved. Need a second?
Second.
And a second, all in favor, carried.
Next motion from the Highway Department, resolve to authorize and approve the request of Paul Sigmund, Highway Superintendent, to hire Levi Sigmund as summer seasonal help labor for the Highway Department effective July 11th, 2023, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of summer help, seasonal help labor for Highway Department pending approval of human resources and the Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, motion is from the town assessor and town attorney. Resolve to approve and authorize the town attorney to sign and execute the stipulated order in the tax assessment cases of Move Inc. versus the town of Wheatfield et al. And Wheatfield Business Park LLC and Move Inc. versus the town of Wheatfield et al. This does not reduce any past assessments, but rather keeps them the same for the next 3 years.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from Water Sewer Department, resolve to authorize the request of Mark Clark, Water and Sewer Superintendent, to hire Timothy Cronin as a laborer starting July 11th, 2023, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Water Sewer Department's labor position, pending approval of human resources and the Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Water Sewer Department, resolve to authorize the request of Mark Clark, Water Sewer Superintendent, to hire Michael Corey as a laborer starting July 11th, 2023, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Water Sewer Department's labor position and pending approval of human resources and the Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved. Second.
And motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from Water Sewer, resolve to authorize a request of Mark Clark, Water and Sewer Superintendent, to move Adam Lama from a mechanic position to an MBO position effective July 11th, 2023.
Second. A motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, is, the town little lengthy, so I'll just summarize that it is a motion that was requested regarding the Greenwood Trail from the state DOT that the town will commit to accepting the improvements of the Greenwood Trail when it's complete. And that we will allow, and when it's on town land currently, we will allow construction easements at no charge.
I make the motion.
Second, just on the question, if we could get, something from the DOT so that we can put it on our website, because our website still has an old version of what Wendell did maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. So the current map, we probably should post it, this is gonna go much further than, unless you wanna
I
hold
know
on.
they're having some property purchase issues, so I think maybe we wait a little bit and then request to them.
Okay.
That's a week and a half, so, other than that, I'm going to go with the motion and then.
Wait to post it once we get a little further along?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I will call.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a second?
Yes, second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And the next motion is, I'll summarize just to explain, is a motion we, spoke to the DOT. We made a list of comments to them, one of which was on the Greenwood Trail that any land the town accepts, we would require some sort of indemnification if there was a environmental problem down the road. And DOT and the state said absolutely they can't do that, and so this motion adjusts to that, so I'll read it. Resolved to amend the town of Wheatfield April 3rd, 2023 resolution regarding the Greenway Trail project number 5760.75 New York State Scenic Highway Project Northeast Trail by removing the comment paragraph 9 in its entirety regarding requiring indemnification from the state to the town such that environmental indemnification is no longer a condition.
So moved.
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And, I have, it's on the agenda, but it just came to me today, I don't know if we discussed if the board would consider, the, letter of agreement by Leahy Company, which they would, like to do an audit at no cost, to us of our workers' comp insurance premiums, and we would receive a payment of, 45% of, any amount that they recover back to the town. We could wait on that, or ready to go tonight?
I don't have a problem, I think it's got
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And there are no other motions.
All right, board members, Larry.
I got a couple of, late motions here probably. I know, Supervisor McSwan and I talked to Mike Rinaldi about some issues in Fairmont Park with ATVs and other motorized vehicles, dog carts, lawnmowers, scooters. I mean, we have a lot of motorized vehicles on our walking trails, and we have people walking, and especially the ATVs going down the sledding hill at an excessive speed. I know Dan received some, literature from the county, Niagara, that, they put a ban or some type of, stoppage of that type of, local law. So I think what we're gonna do is schedule a public hearing for sometime in September.
Yes.
But I don't know that date.
Andy, you have no the September meeting?
The 11th. That's not the Bills play.
Well, what about September 4th, is that?
That's Labor Day. 11th, just make it 6:45.
So, make a motion to have a public hearing at 6:45 to review the, law that we have to
Is that gonna be a 1-hour meeting, Mr. Supervisor?
Is that the Bills night?
There's Bills supposed to be the whole
That's
night.
gonna be a short one.
We'll have to move it up a little bit, but yeah, I think,
I might even be going to it, so, you guys have to take it.
Larry?
I think, I got season tickets.
Well, it's in New York.
Oh, that won't be going to that.
In New York and then 11. Yeah, we'll make it an hour.
We'll do it.
Unless we gotta move it up, but we got a month or two to think
You
about
wanted
it.
at 6:45?
that could allow, wheelchairs and stuff like that for the handicap playground and other
Make
things.
sure that's in my office.
I'm sure we already have something, but, maybe just make sure that we have something that's using licensed vehicles on town roads, right, as we're going through this.
Well, I'm talking like, we may have to post signs at certain entry points to the parks to tell people that we don't want that type of equipment in the park, but whether we can post the signs before we have the law.
Probably should have, when I talked to the sheriff's department, the only way they're gonna be able to enforce it is if there's a law in place where they can, ticket somebody for being on our property. That's what the county does.
Yeah, I mean, if the signs went up earlier, if you have the signs up, you can't enforce it, but at least the signs is still
Yeah,
there.
can't hurt for a sign.
Yeah.
No, but we won't be able to enforce it.
Still can't hurt.
In fact, I got a call today, every day at 4 o'clock, ATVs are running up and down side road, same people, so we're gonna have the sheriff over there tomorrow to do that. I need that. Okay, so we're good for 6:45 on September 11th, the public hearing for the regulation of ATVs on town property, yes? Motorized vehicles.
Larry made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And one last thing, I'd like permission, I'm not sure if we're gonna go this route yet, but our next meeting's not until August. Civic Plus does their website. Some of the departments are having issues doing updates, and, we had a meeting with, Kathy Harrington, our counselor, Mike Rinaldi, Recreation and Supervisor, Debbie Clark. It seems like we need some more assistance, and Civic Plus has a program called Virtual Webmaster, which essentially departments that are having a hard time doing it because they don't do it that often. Maybe they do it once a year, or once every 2 years, they have to do an update. And they don't remember how they did it last year. For a fee of $6,783, it's a service that they will provide, but we need to provide this service to the departments that need the help, so that we can keep our website up to date.
And that's the annual.
It'd be an annual fee.
What's your pleasure, guys?
It looks like we're gonna be going that route, but before, I don't wanna maybe wait until August or September to come back and ask permission, but if we decide to go that route, I'll go through with Metro, or on the contract, or whatever contract material they have to in place. But that's the route I probably would recommend if we have to do something.
Okay, so, I mean, what do you fellows wanna do? Do you wanna put it to a motion, subject to a contract review and agreement by our attorney? Make a motion. Okay, so that's second. And I have a motion by the second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So just a question on that, so will we be able to give them a list of people that are authorized to
Yeah.
give them updates, and probably should include all of us, right?
Yeah, essentially, they're not gonna do the work. You're gonna be talking to someone at Civic Plus, and they're gonna be helping, Kelly's not here, so I'll take it Kelly. So say Kelly, our assessor, needed to do something, she can call them up and they'll help her do it. They'll tell her, it may take a couple, 3 phone calls to do it. They may tell her, you have to get this paperwork or this document in a PDF form, and we'll help you put it up. They're not gonna do the work for them, they're gonna help them do it, and it'd be a learning process. Maybe if after a year or two of doing this, maybe we don't have to do it anymore. But, they also, recommended that we do training, and we can do training at any time. A 4-hour block of training, we've done training a couple of times since we've installed, it'd be $750. It's remote training, they don't come on site. They do like a Zoom session where they'll, remote in and hear your computer and show you how to do things, and you can tell them what you wanna learn. We can decide on that later.
Yeah, I would say, why don't we see what the $7,000 is worth?
But they say that, if we get new employees over the course of, another year or so, we get new employees come in, you probably have to do these refresher training courses. But, I think this virtual webmaster will at least get some of the departments that are infrequent flyers, they don't use it a lot. It'll at least give them the benefit of having someone there over again.
So if we have like the family picnic, right?
Yeah.
Right? something we would contact Mike would, if he doesn't want to do it himself, he would contact Civic Plus would phone us.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, Kathy and Mike are probably our two best users of the system. And Jamie Irving. So, and the other departments rely on Kathy, Mike, and Jamie to do things for them. And sometimes, you know, they don't have enough time to do what they're supposed to do for their own department, let alone help others. This will give, you know, Mike, Kathy, and Jamie a little bit of a break, having someone else that can provide assistance.
Thank you, Larry. Bill Luzette. I don't have anything at this time. There you go. You're a doctor.
I already let the cat out of the bag there, but, Mike's not here, so the Wheatfield Family Picnic is, August sixth. That'll occur before our next board meeting, so we, want to make sure everybody knows that. We also have the Wheatfield Enhancement Volunteer Meeting coming up. That'll be tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. over at the community center for anybody interested. And the other thing that I was thinking of was, as Chris was standing up, I was looking at the, right over your head, the tape over there out the window, and I was thinking about our windows project. I don't know if anybody has any updates about it.
In fact, the windows are being custom made. It's just a matter of having the delivery to site and scheduling the installation. I got an email. But the windows are being manufactured, and as soon as they're here, hopefully in the next few weeks, some of the windows will be later, next windows will be going in first. They came here several weeks ago, measured every one of them, measured them a couple times to make sure, and they were orders, and they can come in to do sections of the building at a time, and work with our maintenance people and our building department, as far as when and where, what time, so keep the place rolling, and we might have to move across the hallway for a day or so, but,
Great. That's all.
Randy Russell.
I'm gonna circle back to Mark real quick. I know you probably get these meters at, bid state bid price. Can we, like, it's no longer Lock City, if somebody else bought them, I mean, not.
Molly
A&M.
Electronics.
Can we go to any other suppliers that have the option to match that price, or even pay more to get a meter?
They're the only place that supplies the Badger system meters.
Oh, that's read, that's
That's it.
read.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. No, that's all I have.
Thank you, Randy. The only thing I have tonight is we have a kickoff meeting for the revitalization of the town park property on River Road and the state of
Ooh, you just told me, I don't know off the top of my head.
But it's gonna be a webinar. I did give them a sketch that I had for a long time, Kurt, I think you got it. There are some suggestions of other things to be added. We're trying to minimize what's going on there now, so that the $429,000 will cover the cost of the renovation. There's money left over, we can add to it. As it is right now, we're looking at parking lots, camping complex, picnic areas, and hopefully a fishing dock around the river. So we'll see how it goes. But we do have a kickoff meeting. It's on my calendar, and Jeff, if you'd like to attend, it's gonna be right in town hall. It's gonna be a webinar. You wanna come in? Sure. There's a chance to come in. Coming up, in a couple of weeks.
I don't know for sure, but I thought it was with about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think about 2, I think it's 1. I'll get out to you if you want contact information or connection, and you can check it. That's all I have. Any further public input? Next meeting is July 24th, that's bill payment only. And then August 7th is our regular town board meeting.